para ihayag ang pinakahuling kalagayan ng COVID-19 crisis sa bansa at ang mga hakbang na ginagawa ng pamahalaan laban sa pandemya. Mula sa Pangulo ng Republika ng Pilipinas, Mayor Rodrigo Duterte. Ito ang Talk to the People on COVID-19.
Good evening to all. Mag-segue ako sa salita ko ngayon during the previous talk to the people. Alam mo, this country continues to be plagued with corruption. I have made a pledge to the people of the Philippines na yung oath of office ko, part of it really is to protect government interest. It does not say there, it's not included, but in its totality, that is what it means actually, protecting government interest. Alam mo, hanggang ngayon, corruption pa rin ang problema. I have made a pledge, if I remember, two sessions, 3 sessions ago, that I will concentrate the last remaining years of my term fighting corruption. Kasi hanggang ngayon hindi humihina, lumalakas palalo. Para natuloy naging inutil ang mga opisyal ng bayan na wala talagang magawa with the onslaught of corruption. Hindi po ako naniniwala na wala akong magawa. May magawa ako. Hindi naman siguro to eradicate corruption in its totality. But I think kami, cabinet members, nandito sila nakikinig, in our own, not small, but in our dedication, we would come up a very strong stand against corruption. Eradication may be a part, but not all. Pero talagang hihirit ako. Ang una kong sinabi, sabi ko, yayariin ko kayo yung sa PhilHealth. At tinutuo ko talaga. Marami na ngayon sa kanila na tinanggal. Yung iba nag-resign. But let me remind everybody in this government na your resignation will not save your neck. Alam mo bakit? You are not allowed to resign if there is a pending case against you. Mag-resign ka man, hindi ka mag-report, but then you would be summoned or subpoenaed, not because you are already out of government, but because for all intents and purposes, you are still a part of government. you are not allowed to resign to escape liability. Kasi nakita ko sa PhilHealth, puro resignation dito, resignation doon. Sinasabi ko, well, maganda man yan para makatulog ka siguro. Hindi ka naman mag-report ng opisina. But if you think that it would save you from criminal prosecution or administrative because you are still considered an employee, that resignation will not help you at all. Let us be clear on that. And this is my second call for a total campaign against corruption. Yung task force na nabuo ko, puro man abogado yon, puro engineer, puro doktor. This time, we will look into every department. But upon my request, BS, to focus sa corruption sa DPWH. Let me state here and now that I have nothing against Secretary Villar. He's one of the hard-working at maraming accomplishments si Secretary Villar. But you know, accomplishments alone, to me, should not suffice. Laparo na sa akin. Hindi na ako Secretary Villar because it's not his job to be running after crooks. But it behooves upon me to see to it na itong corruption mahinto. Kundi, at least maputo na ng konti. So, we're expanding the investigations corruption sa agriculture with special focus DPWH. And as the same, I will order your suspension. I need not go to court. Sabi ko nga, itong presidency, hindi naman inotel. Kasi kung inotel ako, aalis na ako dito. Ibigay ko na sa iba. So, huwag ninyo akong lukuhin. Kung naging inotel man ako noon, maybe we were too busy looking for money. Ngayon na may kunting may maipakita kami sa inyo. A small dent in the infrastructure setup of Manila, and it will improve tremendously the traffic congestion. Okay na sa akin yan. And I will allow the secretaries to continue with their of the projects. They will still have my full support. But ang focus ko nga, the office of the President itself will be against corruption. So, in the coming days, expect to suspension, kasi kung in-suspend kita, may duda ako. Hindi ako mag-suspend ng tao na walang kasalanan. It will be expanded with the relentless energy. If need be, kukuha ako ng marami pang abogado. Total, ilang buwan na lang yan. Buwan na lang yan. But to the very last day, may isuspend pa ako siguro ng mga empleyado. Now, that is very clear. I do not think that you will receive the message equivocal. It has only one impact. I have here so many things to read. Ganito yan eh. Yung mata ko, hindi na masyado maganda. And I read the 168, ang 1.6, may point pala yun. So sabi ko 168, 1.6. Ang 16, akala ko, diretso na yon. Kaya nagkamali ako sa tao na contaminated. You know, minsan, pag maliit na tao, mga ganito, hindi ko na mabasa sa ganung distansya. Ganon. Pero kung pag glance lang ako, kunwari, para sabihin marunong, nagkakamali. But, you know, every dog is entitled to one bite. Next is the proposal. I'd like to hurry up Congress in this. One of my proposals during the campaign period was the creation of overseas Filipino. Iba yung Department of Labor. It takes care of the internal mga trabahante dito, yung nasa labas. So, I propose in the coming months, and I hope to come up with a Department for Overseas Workers. I don't know if I will also create another agency, and that is the maritime, the seafarers. Kasi sinabi ko sila, iba-iba yung treatment ko doon because of there's so many international laws involved dito. Alam mo, pagka yung mga trabahante natin sa labas, stranded and everything, meron pa nga siguro isa, I've read that one Filipino has been stranded in Vietnam right now. I'd like to ask Secretary Bello, if he's listening, to look into the matter. He has been there for 2 years. That is unconscionable. I cannot accept that kind of mistake of government. We should bring him home. No Filipino should be left stranded like a person with no nationality. Tignan mabuti itong problema na to at baka ma-solve kaagad. I hope the Department of Labor would take this suggestion seriously. Itong sa overseas workers, ang ano nito, ang rational or rationale, if you may, na wala masyadong focus sa kalaki ng Department of Labor. Isa lang yan dito. Isang department lang yan. So this time, one department, one section sa Department of Labor. Dito, isang departamento. Pati itong sa maritime, sa mga seafarers, I might consider an additional agency under the proposal. Overseas kasi. So yan ang ano ko sa mga kababayan ko na naghihirap sa labas, that there will be a more thorough review sa policies for your protection, and that somebody should look after you. It might not really be perfect, it might not really be as good as one would expect initially, but it would improve later. And so I would have to create this kaagad, ASAP ito. Ngayon sa All Saints, All Souls Day, wala naman naka-fix na yan, no liquor, no deadly instruments, lalo na baril, unless you are a military or a police. Sana expect a peaceful celebration of the All Saints Day and the All Souls Day. Yung importante pang isa, vaccine. Meron akong nabasa sa newspaper. There was this meeting between Sinovac, Sinopharm. I'm not sure, but it was a pharmaceutical of China na hindi natuloy yung pag-meeting nila because the Chinese counterpart probably did not have any good understanding with this partner. And so they decided to back out. But let me tell everybody that hindi kami maghingi. We will pay. So, maganda sana government to government ang transaction. Walang corruption, wala lahat. Kasi government to government, I'm offering it to China kasi meron na sila. As I have said earlier in the days that followed the COVID contamination, sinabi ko na expect China to come up first because I believe sa Chinese expertise and knowledge. At hindi ako nagkamali, meron na sila. So, to the Chinese government and to the people who are really parlaying the vaccine, you need not look for partners. We can make it government to government, and I will pay you. Wala nang kasi Secretary Duque is here.
Good evening, Mr. President.
I'll give you enough time to explain what this is all about. I just want a clear picture of how we should go about with our. But my sense, Secretary, is that it should be a government to government transaction because it will be good. And tell your men if they are into these negotiations that place first a government to government transaction. I hate yung ayoko yung private persons magbili tayo sa private Chinese businessmen. Diyan magkakulukulukuhan eh. Kaya nga, umatras siya kasi di ata nakapag agree doon sa mga terms nila parang partnership to deal with the Philippine government. I had we had a meeting with Ambassador Huang. Said that the vaccine is there. It will be in a matter of distribute. And of course, what kind of transaction would it be for them and for us? I said for government, ang sa Pilipinas, kasi it will do away with corruption again and mga hingi-hingi dyan sa. Kasali dito yung dito sa yung pagbigay ng pera, this, I don't know if it is second or as I have said before, the money for assistance and help na maibigay sa tao should be formulated and implemented by the task force. So I'd like to ask Secretary Galvez, ito ba rin you take care of the money? Kindly remove your, kasi hindi,
Sir, per arrangement with SOF, sir, siya po sir ang magkano sir sa procurement at saka yung PSDBM po sir. Actually sir, I have a briefer here on the vaccine procurement that have been given to me by PSDBM sir. I will submit it to you sir.
it has been my desire. Kasi busy Secretary Doge. I know that your hands are full until now. Kaya yung implementation sa pera, binigay ko doon sa task force. It still is. That is still my decision na ibigay sa kanila. May tanong lang kasi ako, I don't know if it's your, baka hindi. Ito bang pagbigay ng pera, yan ang ayaw ko sa lahat, yung delay. Kaya ng assistance. Yung assistance, kailangan pagkain, nandiyan ka agad. May iba kasi sa probinsya, pag-gawin pa ng proposal, tapos they will review the proposal and it would take days. I don't know if it's a local government who's doing it, or the money pass on to the local government to do the distribution or implementation. But hindi ko talaga malaman kung saan. I do not know where the fault lies, because it's really something which is obnoxious. Kayong lahat taga-gobyerno, to those who are implementing the assistance, whether the Department of Health, Department of DILG, Department of local government, barangay, huwag ninyo paggawain pa ng proposal, kasi yung proposal, they will review it and then decide. Yung proposal, kailangan maibigay ka agad, hindi na yung proposal, kung hindi yung pera. So, what I would like to happen is this. Simplify the giving of the money by asking for a proposal. Then that proposal should not be studied by days or by months. You just review it. It says that it's for food. God damn it. You give it because it's for food, kakainin yan. And all assistance connected with the health of a person o ano, ibigay ninyo, do away with delay. Local governments, mga permit nga ganun. Hindi ako nagyayabang. If I did it in Davao City for 3 days, make it 2 days this time. Pag hindi, at nag-report ng isang tao sa akin, yung report niya, diretso na yun sa respectfully forwarded to the Ombudsman for immediate action. Hindi na ako sa akin may investigasyon pa tapos administrative criminal. Doon ka sa Ombudsman. Because the Ombudsman can suspend you anytime with strong reasons or with weak reasons. That has to be seen, but he has that power. So, gano'n ang pagka kayong mga complaint, oras na dumating sa akin yan, diretso na yan sa Ombudsman. Bahala na kayo doon sa buhay ninyo. Because the Ombudsman can order you dismissed, order you face charges, criminal, or wala. Sabihin ko sa inyo, nag-iba ang panahon. Nag-iba rin ang utak ko. You might not like the way I present my thoughts to you. Pero gano'n na nga. Medyo nagsawa na ako kasi ang mga tao nagsawa na rin. Kayong mga ano dyan, wala kayong, you pretend to be legal, masquerading as fighting corruption. Sige, kayo maghanap kayo sa akin. Find me a person or a paper which says that I received 1 peso and I will resign. I purposely umiwas ako kay gusto kong bumira. Kasi kung nagloko ako, hindi ako, papigilan ako kasi may but of the matter is that you are also corrupt. So, iniwasan ko yan. Ayaw ko makipag-usap ng negosyante. Wala kayong makuha sa akin. Wala akong papel na pinirmahan na transaction sa gobyerno. Lahat ng kontrata begins with Galvez and ends with Galvez. Yung mga ano sa pisina niya. And yung mga health, mga transaction, it begins and ends with Secretary Doke. But mind you, Secretary Doke was not a part of PhilHealth. As a matter of fact, he was not even reporting. That's why yung Congress yung sabi niya, suspend si or out Duque. I said, for what? Kasi nauna na, nandito na, nauna kami sa amin galing yan eh. So binasa ko, what ground would I base my decision? Would I just obey the cry of 1 million as against my assessment na si Duque walang nanakaw kung pera ang pag-usapan. Maybe some other things. He might be some other things, but corruption, pera wala. Kaya wala kayong makuha sa akin. Lahat na puro milyonaryo yan. Sekretary na yari ng Marco Polo yan. Davao. Do not invent a sin against me because I have painstakingly avoided being a corrupt. Tagal ho akong fiscal, tagal akong mayor, 23 years sa Davao. Wala akong sindikato na isaman. Because that is what my father said to me. My father was governor of Davao noon. Told me what? If you want to go to politics and if you want to remain there for a time, stay clean. Stay clean. Yan ang sinasabi ko kay Inday, pati kay Pro. Huwag kayong pumasok ng sumobra, especially si Pulong, sa account siya ngayon. sa committee. Be sure to account for every money to the last centavo para ang tao walang masabi. Hindi, wala yan. Talagang hindi mo ano yan. Babarilin ka pa niyan. Yun lang man siguro. Napalabas ko na yung galit ko. Basta ito, ha? Basta ito. Yung sa mga tao, dalian ninyo. Huwag mo na akong bigyan yung may proseso pa ito, tapos proseso mo isang buwan, dan ay isang taon, pabalik-balikin mo yung tao. You will be given only, hindi pa lumabas ang ano I'm waiting for somebody to join us together with Secretary Guevara. Magawa kami ng parang code of yung ilang araw lang, yung mga the days that you are only given to act on a certain matter. You know what's really wrong? It's because some of you are indolent and lazy. At hindi ninyo tinatrabaho yan. Hindi kayo if you are not asking for money, then obviously you are not doing your duty. Initially I was banking on, that was just shooting the breeze with the people. But actually, with the sense of urgency, na I mentioned China and Russia. All options are on the table. The one that would give us the best interest for the country will be chosen. But I leave it to since he's going to pay, I will listen to Sunny kung siya yung magbayad eh. Pag wala ibayad, siya yung makulong. I've said enough. Let me just read for everybody. I hope that all government workers, officials are listening. This is a memorandum from me, the President, to Secretary Bernardo I. Guevara, Department of Justice. The subject is investigate of allegations of corruption in the entire government. Lahat. Ito, further to the directive issued by the Department of Justice, DOJ, through memorandum from the President dated 7 August 2020 to organize a panel to investigate allegations of corruption in the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. The DOJ is hereby directed to investigate allegations of corruption in the entire government. Lahat na. Kuridas ito. In pursuit of this directive, the DOJ shall have the authority to decide which allegation to investigate, taking into consideration the gravity thereof and their impact on the delivery of government service. It may create as many panels as it deems necessary to adequate and may invite or direct other bodies and agencies of the government to assist or be a part of such panel. The DOJ shall prosecute and file the appropriate charges against all those involved in the anomalies investigated, whether against government or private person, as may be warranted by the evidence gathered subject to applicable laws and rules. The power and authority of the DOJ under existing laws and previous directives to investigate the commission of crimes and prosecute violators shall not in any way be diminished by this directive. This directive shall remain in effect until June 30 of 2022 pag alis ko, unless sooner lifted or revoked. Why should I revoke or lift this good order for immediate compliance? Huwag kayong, you might have the notion na, well, the ombudsman is the pinaka number one. Ideally, you go to yung malalaki, yung malaking pera, diretso mo na sa ombudsman, if I were to have my say. Pero ang gobyerno, ang presidency can investigate, can, send you to prison. Kaya nga, kung ang prosecution nito is the ombudsman ultimately. But pagkaakyat kasi nito doon, may recommendation na. And if the ombudsman will says that it's a well-studied complaint, then obviously you are going to jail. Ang mahirap niyan, ang mga anak mo mapahiya. Pamilya mo mapahiya sa ganitong, kasi ipapublish ko talaga. Sabi ko, yayariin ko kayo. Yung PhilHealth wala na, skeletal ang remain. Talagang hindi ko bubuwagin yan because hindi madali na it's not easy really to create another one. But I think by this time marami na kasi na-suspend. Again, do not try to resign to escape culpability. That ain't accepted dito sa gobyerno. You cannot resign when you have a case pending. Well, finally, dito sa, balik na naman tayo dito sa figures. Hindi ko naman itong figures. Magkamali na naman ako dito sa, I said, for the third time, every dog is entitled to one bite. Ang proposed quarantine qualification for November 1 to 30, herewith is the proposed community quarantine classification subject to appeals from the LGUs. General Community Quarantine or GCQ from November 1 to 30. In CR, gusto man talaga nila, Batangas, Iloilo City, Bacolod City, Tacloban City, Iligan City, Lanao del Sur. Ang gusto ng mga may karamihan, gusto nila make it permanent because they have seen the goodness of the result, na it has considerably lowered the number of people who are infected with the microbe. So gusto nila ito. Palagay ko naman sa inyo marin itong kapakanan. Look, we are not here to make your life miserable or sad. We are here to make your life comfortable and to make you happy. Wala kaming ibang dito. Bakit kami maglalagay na ito, mga ganitong papel? What's the point of, sige kayo daldal dyan. So what's the point of working on these figures if it does not do anything good? Pero kung maniwala kayo, para sa inyo yan. COVID is still rising. Marami pang patay. So, tumataas pa. Sabi nga, ang microbe, ang kagaya ng mga nabakunahan na kasi lahat. Diphtheria, yung mga bata. Lahat na paglabas sa ospital, meron na yung bakuna. So, hindi pa nabakunahan, pabakunahan ninyo. Because the germs are still there. It's just lying in there. It's everywhere. But because karamihan sa atin, nung ako second grade, mayroon pa akong mark sa bakuna. Medyo mga measles, gano'n. We are freed of the maladies of the world. Para sa inyo yan. Now, I'd like the secretaries to say, if they have something to say, make it brief, and because we have been there, or we have been here, there, sa baba, hanggang ngayon, alas 12 na pala. Anybody who want to make a report? Kasi kung wala, mag-uwi na tayo. Alas 12 na. Wala. Sige. Actually, ladies and gentlemen, the cabinet meeting that we have now, sa lahat para lahat to, but hindi sila makapunta dito dahil takot sa bagyo. Kasi mag-take off yung eroplano nila, na. Maraming bakanting kabinet. So, I can understand. I will not also allow them to fly if it's dangerous. So, I can understand. Ang nandito lang sa atin ngayon, in front of me is Secretary Galvez and Senator Bongo. Senator Bongo is interested in everything that concerns the welfare of the Filipino people. And that goes for everybody in the cabinet. Yan lang ho. Sabihin ko sa iyo, I had a hard time convincing these people to join the cabinet. Either it's Anyo or ikaw, Charlie Galvez, Sunny Dominguez, ayaw. Ayaw nila kasi ayaw na magulo ang gobyerno, na madimanda ka na. Pero, I said, now is my time. So it's your time to serve the country. Kung wala na kayong mga military, ang pabata pa ninyo, lugi ang gobyerno sa inyo. You retire at 56 years old and I'm still paying you good money kasi may retirement pay. Trabaho kayo. You work. 56 years old is too young to retire. And I'm also scouting for others. Meron akong yung mga sensitive, It involves still money. I am the Chinaman bringing a lamp in the daytime. Tapos tinanong siya ng kaibigan niya, why are you bringing a lighted lamp when it is daytime? And he said, I have to see clearly because I am looking for an honest man. Yan ang mahirap. Hindi ako pinaka-honest. Ilang beses niloko ko rin ang mama ko, papa ko, alawan, sabihin na wala, na snatch, na pickpocket ako. Pero I played my game within yung maloko ko lang, lalo na nanay ko noon. Sabi ko, dito pag-aral ko sa Maynila. Natalo sa high alay. Natuto akong aga nag-high alay. Putang. So, naubos, sabi ko, ma, talan mo ako ng tuition kasi na-pickpocket ako. Ha? So niya, mag-iingat ka. Ganun. Oo nga, so. Tapos sunod, ubos na. Alam mo, pahay-alay. Ihatid mo lang yung pera dyan para tapos nawala ang pera ko. Nakalimutan ko na hindi ko nasama sa labada. May labada man ako taga Cavite, tiglaba. Kunin dyan every weekend. Hindi naman nabalik yung pera. Wala man daw pera yung pants ko. Sabi ng nanay ko, ikaw, hindi mo ako niloloko. Sabi ko, hindi ma. Padala siya pera. For the third time, sabi ko, ma, ang pera ko nawala sa dormitoryo, may nagnakaw, sabi ng nanay ko. Let's ka, Rodrigo, umuwi ka na dito para matapos ng perdisyon mo. So, we cannot, hindi ako binabandira ko sarili ko, honest man ako. May mga, ako, pero limitado doon sa yung kaya mong lukuhin. Kaya ang gobyerno, kaya mong lukuhin, paano? Nandiyan yung ombudsman, nandiyan yung auditing office. So, I have said enough. I don't know if it is really, I go overboard. But I would just say, may you have a safe celebration of the All Saints Day. Just follow rules. It's for your own good. Maraming salamat po.